cultures in Africa, this is emphasized. Storage room. I don't agree with. Yes, you do need education, but it's aura for aura. That's just who I am. Oh, I don't know why I forgot to bring my pickers from using it. Girls to be moms, to be good wives and stuff like that. But if you're nice and friendly, yes, let's be cool, let's be friends, let's hang out, for sure. Hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's super relaxing ASMR session. Hope you enjoy these tingles. And if you do like this session, please give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel. So I don't know what this is. Yeah, try to see what's in there. Don't know if I brought my pickers. Oh no, I don't have my pickers here, so I'll just try to squeeze this. Yesterday I went and got my nails done, but I got them really short because I wanted something different for a change. I feel like I haven't done ASMR sessions with short nails for quite a while, so this is a good change. Doing ASMR with the short nails is is that I'm falling for. And today I wanted to just chit chat about the propagandas I'm not falling for. Hope you guys are not bored of this topic. Kind of fascinated me when I first heard about it. And instead of doing an Instagram reel about it, I thought, why not, do it in one of our sessions. So, the very first one is people saying to me, your daughter must be lonely, you need to have another baby, so that she can have someone to play with. Or people saying stuff like, it's better to have 2 kids at once, and close that chapter once and for all. Like, I've had several people even in my own family tell me this. And the answer is no. Yeah, my baby might be lonely, but I don't think that's a good enough reason to have another child. If you feel that emotionally, physically, mentally, you're not able to handle having another child. So no, I'm not falling for that at all. Another one is, and I think this is deeply rooted in African culture. Well, I'll say East African culture because I don't want anyone to come for me in the comment section saying, oh, speak about your part of Africa. Education is the only way you will succeed in life. That, personally, I don't agree with. Yes, you do need education, but it's not the only way you will survive, or you will make money, or you will, succeed in the entirety of life. I believe there are many other ways you can succeed without education. So yeah, I won't go into so much detail about that, but that's just my stance. I probably might get a lot of hate for saying this in the comment section, but I do not agree, rather than accept, the grading of women by numbers. Like, I find it so, how do I say this in the best way possible, degrading. And I find it kinda, what's the right word? Well, in essence, I don't think it's a good thing, because it's solely based on looks. If you ask me, like, say, oh, my wife is a 10. I'm teaching my baby from a very young age to understand that beauty is not everything. Yes, there's pretty privilege, and that could get you some places, but it won't open all the doors in life for you. Personally, I believe in being morally upright, being raised right, or rather just being someone with morals, being an intelligent person, a person who's, as I said, not just book smart, but, street smart, being emotionally intelligent, knowing what to say, when to say, and who to say it to, I know I'll not raise her. I know we will make mistakes with her along the way. But the one thing I want my daughter to be, of everything else, I want her to be a kind person. So yeah, you can be a 8, 9, 10, but you're just an unkind, mean, spirited, evil person. How does that help you in any way? I don't get it. Even if you're married like to the richest man and you're just a mean, spirited person, how's that a nice thing? How do your looks and your number help in this situation? I just, it's just me. So no, I don't agree with that grading, That grading, okay, you can grade people however you want, but I think that people should be graded by their character, not by just looks. And again, that's just my opinion. This thing of all the influencers pushing all this expensive skincare that basically, unless it costs more than €100 a bottle or a tube or a tin, it won't work. I'm not falling for that. I don't think expensive skincare, expensive lotions, are, they're the ones that will work. I think that a $10 retinol eye gel will work just the same as a €70 retinol eye cream, or let's say night cream. Oh, this branding, I feel like it's just meant to steal people's money, to be honest. I feel like people fall so much for branding. And one thing about me is, if people rave about something so much, this is good, this is what other girls are using, or even if it's a show, when people rave about it so much, I kind of lose interest. I don't know, I'm just that type of a person. If there's a show that everybody's watching, when people are raving so much about Game of Thrones, I didn't watch it at all. I've never sat through even a single episode of Game of Thrones, because I kind of lost interest because so many people are raving about it, and I was like, The same thing with that Netflix show, was it called The Straw or something, with Taraji P. Henson. Hanson, something like that, that's her name. I really was looking forward to it. I even put a reminder, because I was like, something with a black lady, of course I'm gonna watch, So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. But when it came out, I didn't watch it immediately, and people are raving about it so much, of how they cried and stuff. I ended up not watching it. I got the reminder on my iPad and also on my phone. But yeah, I just ended up not watching it. Another propaganda I'm not falling for is judging someone based on someone else's experience with them. Like, I know this is something we might do knowing or unknowingly. When you hear something about someone and you really do not know them, and by the time you meet them, your mind is already made up out there. So I'm saying I'm not falling for this, because I've been on the receiving end of these people who just judge me. Not really people, but one person judged me by what they heard from someone else. And by the time it got to me, I was like, oh my god, that's like the craziest thing. How this lady believed I had done this, even though it's not true, And I realized just how damaging and harmful it can be. So each time I hear someone tell me, oh, guess what, do you know so and so and so, I always like to see it, be calm, and be like, you know what, we haven't heard from him, what does he have to say about it? Of course, these are not in cases where there was abuse or something, like that. like cases of rumors. I can rush to church. I like to hear both sides, if at all they are willing to tell me, especially in friendship circles. I don't really have that many friends. Like literally, I just have my best friend, and then maybe one or two other people I can call friends, and then loads of acquaintances who really I don't talk to on a regular basis, even on a monthly basis. But when we meet at our mutual friends' birthday parties, we chat, we talk and stuff. These are the one people might give me a side eye about it. But my husband and I, we're the type of people who do not believe in buying expensive labeled shoes, let's say Gucci shoes, all this expensive labeled stuff, Dior, Scarf, Chanel, Likens. We are not believers of that. Not because I can't afford it, but more like we do not believe. And again, disclaimer, this is us. We do not believe in spending so much money on, let's say, a material item. Yeah, I know some people say that this is an asset, but then again, it's an asset that you're carrying with you everywhere. The chances of it being scratched, chances of it being, stolen. So it's not like a piece of land sitting somewhere where it won't be moved, but something like a handbag you spend, let's say, 10,000 euros on, and then it gets stolen or it gets ripped accidentally on a chair or something. Yeah, no, that's just not us. Guys, I wanted to also put a disclaimer by saying, if I look unkept, just remember we are shooting these sessions after our baby falls asleep. Tomorrow we are actually going to be out of town. We're going to visit family. We've been invited for a mini R&R. Yeah, and I have to pack up early in the morning for us to go. So yesterday I noticed that my foundation was getting finished, and usually I mix my Shiseido. Do you call it Shiseido? I mix my Shiseido foundation with Bobbi Brown foundation, and I noticed I overmixed this morning, so my foundation is quite dark on some parts. So please ignore that if it's standing out. So being a married person, I know this might come as a surprise to people, but where I come from, most people are, and I saw this a lot growing up, most people are raised to be wives. I don't know if this is in all part of Africa, but my husband traveled to Algeria recently, and he told me that he did see like something like that. Like most girls are just raised to be, moms, wives. They are like taught. And in some cultures in Africa, this is emphasized. Like, you're just raised for that purpose. You only learn at home to cook for your husband, take care of your husband, and such stuff. That's where they put all the emphasis. Isn't it weird that in some of these homes and cultures, they do not teach boys to be husbands, but they emphasize on teaching girls to be moms, to be good wives and stuff like that? That's so weird, right? Anyway, the point is, I am not falling for the propaganda that marriage is everything, Marriage is the ultimate goal in life. I don't think it is. Before I used to think that, but now, as I grow older and wiser, I came to realize it's not. There's a lot more other things in life. It can be one, but it's not the ultimate. There's a lot of other things that go on in life, conversation with me past hello. The part of Europe that we live in is really known for people just being cold and just, not nice and welcoming. And at some point I felt like living here I'd begun to fall into that dark pit of just returning energies. If people are coming at me, the negative energy, I return it back to them, I am angry, I am like mean, my face is like, folded constantly. But then I realized, no, I am not like this, and I do not want to allow myself to be like this. So yeah, I'm not falling for that you have to be unkind, mean, especially people who are mean to people they don't know. Like if you're in a restaurant, then you're mean to the waiter. That's like the worst thing. Like, really. Okay, and another one is buying a new phone every time a new one comes out. No, that's just a no for me. Literally, I've had my iPhone for like 4 years now, and recently it started acting up on me. I got trained on once while I was waiting for a bus, and from then on, the screen just, it's shaky. It's not broken, but it's more like this, lines. But I'm comfortable using it because it acting like that will not stop me from using it. What's that? Let's see. Oh, I don't know why I forgot to bring my pickers. I left them in storage room. Okay, this other one is funny. I'm not falling for this propaganda that women should be quiet and not outspoken and just, whisper, because that makes them more feminine. I know there are people who describe femininity as that, though actually raising a little girl to have a voice, to speak what she feels and what she wants. I once read that someone said that babies from a young age in, was it either Sweden or Finland, are taught not to cry, they are silenced at a very young age. Because apparently if they're used to crying, they will disturb people, they will disturb the peace. The thing with me is this: if you're living in a block or flat, you should never have a problem with a crying baby in the building, because if you wanted privacy, you would probably, buy a house away. Of course, this is not to say that you let your baby cry at all hours, but if people are allowed to do their loud renovations for a month plus, drilling, putting new kitchen cabinets, changing the bathroom and stuff between the hours of 9 to, let's say, 9 p.m., 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., why shouldn't your baby cry along those hours? Yeah, so this other one is funny. The fact that when you live in a certain type of society, they will expect you to act a certain way, dress a certain way, or even look a certain way to, fit into society. Let's call it, for example, a gated community. Especially if you're a person of color like me. I don't live in a gated community. I just thought to give an example. Yeah, for person of color like me. When I first moved here, I thought the best way to fit in was just to be someone different so that people would like me or accept me, like do things differently, not talk the way that I talk, not talk loudly, not to be excited about things, because people are never excited where I live. Like, they're not excited about things. Being like loud and outspoken, so immediately their mind goes to, whatever it is that they would think. So no, I decided I am not going to try to fit in or try to get someone to fit in or to be liked. If you do not like me, that's fine. Keep your like to yourself, quite frankly. But if you're nice and friendly, yes, let's be cool, let's be friends, let's hang out, for sure. I will return energy with energy, aura for aura. That's just who I am. If you're nice and sweet, I'll be nice and sweet. If you're mean, of course, I'm not gonna be outwardly mean with you, but I'm just not going to dance to that tune, Like, be deliberately mean just because you're mean. I just remove myself from that situation. Ignore it, be nonchalant, And lastly, and please don't come for me in the comment section, people saying, oh, as a Christian you shouldn't wear this, you shouldn't wear that. Like, who died and made you God or the policeman to police people on what they should and shouldn't wear? I remember one time I was new to this church and I met some ladies, and one of the ladies, she saw a profile picture of me over the weekend that I had put on WhatsApp. I changed my profile picture there, and I had like a sheer top with a white bra inside and some biker shorts. And she messaged me, she was like, this type of dressing on your profile picture is unacceptable. As a Christian woman, you should not wear biker shorts. They show your thighs and they are way too short and tight. And I was like, what? I read her message and I waited 2 days to reply her. Immediately after she read my reply, I don't really remember what it was. She blocked me and started giving me daggers in charge. Yeah, I guess what I say to her was something like, it's so weird that you judge me, you being a sinner, because you're not God, you're not Jesus. You sinner judging me for sinning a little different from you. Yeah, she was livid. The next time she saw me in church, she looked